The Lord is thy shepherd, I shall not want. Him maketh I lie down in a green pastures. Him leadeth I beside still water them. Him restoreth I soul. Him leadeth I in the path of righteousness for him name's sake. Yea! Though I Rasta go walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I can't fear no evil, for thy rod and thy staff them comforted I and I. Who prepare a table before I in the presence of our enemy them. Who anointed I head with no oil. Me cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy. I go follow I all the days of I Ivan. Me I go dwell in the house of the Lord God Jah. Kadamawe grumabia tela e higzag beer tanaistalina bashante shante 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 shante. Kadamawe grumabia tela e. Where 2 and 3 meet in the name of the Most High Jah, and that's so Jaja there. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in vain same way. If Jaja never watch upon your house, the watchman I go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and them is safe. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks and I say unto your name, King of kings and Lord of lords, the conquering lion of the tribe of Judah, Amasa Yahuda, Amasa Negus Danielam, Komaya Sataya. I mana pio aya mauso bolisa. Adanu wato ewo asikle afo. How mauso bolisa? Akpe kaka. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. In every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire, there is something super sumptuous cooking. Ingredients of so many different colors, shapes, and sizes find themselves into the black pot and subjecting themselves to some amount of heating. The black pot and the ingredients produce the most sumptuous, the most nutritious food. Interestingly, the black pot does not benefit from this food, neither do the ingredients benefit from the food. The food rather benefits us, the eaters. But every time, the black pot and the ingredients will collaborate, knowing very well that they will not benefit from the eating. But in one way or the other, they certainly benefit. Now, we have to also be very selfless. Remember that the black pot is so symbolical of the continent of Africa, and the ingredients also represent us as a people. We must all come together, put aside all our differences of color, skin shade, creed, faith, religion, and work together to be able to produce development for our people, our continent, our land. Yes, we must be that Joshua generation, the tree planting generation. We might not live long enough to benefit from the shade of the trees, but what does it matter if the next generation will come and benefit from that? This is what is referred to as generational thinking. It's not everything we do today that will directly benefit us. A lot of it will benefit generations yet to come. The same way generations before us also toiled for us to come and benefit from their hard work today. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushunamo. And in this program, we don't criticize. If we must criticize, we would only just criticize to build and not to destroy. But we are in the service of God and country. We don't do politics here. What we do is called patriotism. We are rewiring the mindset of our people. The wires that are broken in our brains, we fix them one after the other so we can have a correct mindset. Now, if our mindsets as African people are corrected, every single thing will be corrected. Our leaders only concentrate on building schools, hospitals, and roads, forgetting to build a bigger school here. Now, if the mindset is correct, individuals will not wait for governments to build roads. we will build the roads ourselves, build the schools ourselves, build the hospitals ourselves. Better still, remain healthy so that we might not even need too much these hospitals. But this is the Blakk Pot, and we are dealing with the mindset. I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And we are live on Pan-African TV. We are also live on Loud Silence TV. Super live on Ghana Web TV. And we are also live on our own TV, the Blakk Empire TV. We are seen all across the continent of Africa and the whole world via the power of satellite and, of course, social media. That is why your businesses will do so well on our show. Pick up our numbers scrolling on the screen. Call us and do business with us. Yes, we are also on YouTube. And we want to ask you specially to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification button so that you will not miss anything we put out there. This is the Blakk Pot, and today we have 5 powerful stories to share with you. Number 1 rolls on your screen, and what does it say? Watch. Reckless Volta boat disaster probed. Reckless Volta boat disaster probed. Now we all remember a few months back, Al Jazeera and CNN came over to this country. And what were they here to do? To investigate modern day slavery along the Volta River. And it came out that, in fact, Christiana Amanpour brought out her findings. And what did she find? A lot of slaves. Little children were thrown into the Volta Lake to be used as bait to catch fish. It sounds very, very nauseous and incredible, but it's true. Now the government of Nana Akufo-Addo all of a sudden came out and debunked all this and said it was all a lie. Later, within days, they collaborated with CNN and with other foreign media, and it came out that it was nothing but the truth, that slavery was still going on the Volta Lake and beyond. Children were being bought. Parents were not able to take care of the numerous children they had, and so they sold some of them into modern day slavery. They would have to go and work for a wealthy person so that they will be taken care of in terms of their food. As for schooling, it was out. Now there was an NGO that came down trying to buy out these children from out of slavery. That was when the news broke out on the international media, and the country was embarrassed and sent out its information minister to come out and do propaganda. But we live beyond propaganda. When people are dying, when people are suffering, propaganda doesn't work anymore. Today we are not talking about slavery on the Volta Lake. We are talking about recklessness that is making people die like chicken on the Volta River. Reckless Volta boat disaster probed. How many of us know the Volta River? It's one of the most important rivers we have in Ghana. In fact, this river is what has provided us with electricity. This river is so important that a lot of the fresh fish we eat in this area actually comes from the Volta River. It is a very important river because it connects so many different areas. And at the same time, it is very spiritual. Watch the story that is unfolding. Watch it. And this was published by 3 News. It says, update. Boat sailor arrested after deadly capsize on Volta Lake. Come here. Watch it. It says sailor Gabriel Aji Godi, who was at the helm Saturday morning when his boat capsized on the Volta Lake, is in the grips of the police. 3news.com can confirm. He is currently in custody at the Adamfua police station, where he is being interrogated over the deadly voyage. 5 persons were confirmed dead, while several others missing after the boat carrying mourners from Azizanya to Azizakope capsized on the Volta Lake. assembly member of the area, Daniel Ajakpa, told TV3 after the disaster struck that the boat was overloaded. The boat, which was supposed to carry 25 passengers, had over 60 on board. According to some survivors, they alerted Gabriel Ajigodi about the overload and pleaded with him to return them to their boarding point. 22-year-old Mary Donuki told TV3's Joseph Armstrong on Saturday that when they realized that the boat was too much, they asked to be returned to Azizanya. The sailor is said to have ignored the pleas and said he would take them to Aziza Kope safely. The disaster, however, occurred mid-journey. Mary Donuki lost her only 1.5-year-old baby. There is still a search party in the area striving to locate some more survivors. What kind of recklessness, foolishness is this? Many people won't understand this. But come, let's explain. Listen, the boat was crafted to take 25 people. Even with the 25, it's still a doubt. In this country, we overload everything. Our classrooms meant to take about 20 people. You would go in there and 80 people are in there. Some are lying flat on their bellies. Everything is overloaded in this country. Everything. A doctor that was supposed to see only about 20 people is seeing about 2,000 people. Everything is overloaded. And when you look at it, you want to wonder what exactly is happening. A boat crafted to take 25 people ended up taking over 100% more. 60 people in all. In fact, when the disaster management people were interviewed, what did they say about this? Every boat has been provided with at least 25 life jackets. But these drivers of the boats believe that they are used to the river. They can swim like fish. And for that matter, there is no need for them to wear the jackets. Now the standard is that before you sit in any of those rickety boats, you would have to first wear your life jacket. But over the years, it's been ignored. Why? Because there's no enforcement. 2, the more people wear them, the more they wear out. And when they wear out, you have to go back and pay money to get fresh ones. So they prefer keeping them fresh and new for as many years as they can without allowing anybody to use them. Telling them that, oh, this river is a peaceful God that does not drown people. So people sit in there, sometimes overloaded. They go to the end and they come out. My brother, my sister, from Azizanya to Azazikope, how long is that? Yet midway, the whole boat capsized. All 60 fell in there. And a number of them drowned. We are told 5. Many more missing. Are they dead? Are they feared dead? Are they under the water? My brother, my sister, remember, we started by telling you that wicked fishermen and use them as bait to catch fish. When they go into the river and they are fishing and they realize that they are not catching fish, they throw a little child in the water. As the child is struggling to survive or struggling to die, the fishes are interested in that. They come forward. To them, it's a kind of spiritual sacrifice as well. And they are able to catch fish. What a wicked country. You can put somebody's child in the river as a sacrifice to catch fish. When CNN discovered that and uncovered this dirty thing, they tried to play politics with this to make it look like Ghana is heaven. No, it's not heaven. What kind of heaven is this that humans are sacrificed? Little children in the Volta region. And we have some dirty minds who will come out and defend this nonsense. Today, you are overloading your boats. The enforcement is not there. Before you board this boat, everybody must wear their life jackets. But interestingly, the boat driver survived. You know why? He's a master swimmer. When he's getting in there and does not wear his life jacket, he knows that he can swim his way to safety. How about the people he's carrying? He's been arrested by the police. What would the police do to him that will be enough deterrent to the rest of the people in the area? I am sad that a little baby belonging to a young Mary Donuki is gone, innocent. This little baby did not have a say in whether to sit in that rickety boat or not. This little baby, my brother, my sister, was so innocent and did not deserve to die. But the baby is gone. You will be shocked that fishermen will jump into the area and cast their nets because more fishes will be coming. There's now a mass sacrifice. That is how wicked some of these fishermen can be. What Ghana should have done, we will ban all the fish coming from that area where human sacrifice is going on, rather than coming to do propaganda. Upon Nkrumah, Kojo Upon Nkrumah was asked to come and do propaganda. And he came telling the whole world, oh, nothing like that is happening. There's no slavery happening. CNN concocted everything only for them to come back with their tails between their legs to confirm, ascertain, corroborate what CNN said. I am so ashamed to be a member of this society. So ashamed to be a member of this country. Because some of our people are behaving like animals. They have no common sense. That little baby who died, I don't know that baby. I have never seen that baby. But I'm already creating an image of the baby in my mind's eye. This sin is going to be with me for only God knows how long. That is how strong a strong conscience is. But a lot of us and the dirty politicians, they have dead, tone deaf conscience. And therefore, they don't care. To all those who lost their lives, may their bodies, minds, and souls live forever. Yes, at least in our minds. In fact, the sad thing is this. All those people who died, next time they are coming to the world, I believe they will never choose this country. Why should they choose a country where everything is overloaded? Schools are overloaded. Hospitals are overloaded. Buses are overloaded. Everything is overloaded. Travel abroad. One of the things that collapsed Ghana Airways, overloading. When Ghanaians and Africans are traveling, it looks like they want to carry everything in the world to wherever they are going. I don't know what mentality that is. To God be the glory. And those passengers, the best thing they could have done, when they realized the boat was being overloaded, they should have been sensible enough to say, bring me down. I have stopped drivers like that on the Kumasi Road twice as a student. When the driver was speeding, and I said, hey, driver, I'm a young student and I have my life to lead. Please slow down. Most of the times, people supported me. On one or two occasions, somebody said, but we need to arrive early. Are you the only person with life in this car? And I said, well, probably I'm the only person with common sense that this kind of speed is not manageable. I need to calm down. And they dropped me. A young student from TERROR Secondary School, they dropped me between Accra and Kumasi with my bag. And people in the bus did not have the common sense to say, driver, this is a little boy and he should not be allowed to be thrown out like that. They rather sat comfortably. I'm sure as the bus proceeded, they were saying, too known. When they go to school small, they think they know everything. The following day, you read that there was an accident and those same people crashed and died. And you expect us to sympathize with you. Please, let us be careful. It hurts me when people lose their lives so recklessly. To the boat driver, the police must deal with him. Whatever the police does to him can never return the dead bodies to life. To God be the glory. Come here. Now the next story I would like to look at is rolling on your screens. And what does it say? Watch it. Shameless Ghana imports vegetables from terror-stricken Burkina Faso. It's a whole sentence. Shameless Ghana imports vegetables from terror-stricken Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is a beautiful country. Burkina Faso gave us such powerful leaders as Thomas Sankara, Maurice Yamiogo. Burkina Faso, in fact, is our neighbor. There are some ethnic groups in Ghana that are also found in Burkina Faso. One people. You have Sisales in Ghana. You have Sisales in Burkina Faso. You have Moshis in Ghana. Moshis in Burkina Faso. In fact, so many other ethnic groups. And when you study the history of the northern region, you realize that a lot of the ethnic groups came through Burkina Faso in the days of Nagbewa. In fact, the same Nagbewa, our Kusasi brethren would call him Banwa. The same people. Today we are not talking about Kusasis. Neither are we talking about Mampusis. We are just looking at Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso used to be called Volta in French, which is translated into Upper Volta. Later they realized that no, they would not want to have a name that describes their position. Because we are in the upper part of the Volta, so we are called Upper Volta. Like Gold Coast, because they found gold around the coast, they decided to call us Gold Coast. Nigeria, Niger, Ivory Coast, and the rest of them all came by their name through this kind of careless nomenclature. Hear me now. Burkina Faso decided to throw away the Upper Volta and pick up a more indigenous, a more spiritual, and a more powerful name. Burkina Faso. You know what that means? Follow me. Burkina Faso means the land of the upright. You know what it means to say upright? People who are clean. People who stand for the truth. People who are honest. That's uprightedness. Shameless Ghana imports vegetables from terror-stricken Burkina Faso. Our president went all the way to America a few weeks back. And at a security meeting, he behaved like a house nigger. You remember the days of slavery? House nigger. You know that, right? The man who would always sneak behind his people and go and report to the slave master what some other people were doing. That's the house nigger. Because the slave master would give him a little bit of his food. That's what the president Nana Akufo-Addo did. He went and told the American people, oh, our neighbors, the Burkinabés, they have allowed Wagner from Russia to come in. And these people are dangerous. We fear that they might bring terrorism to our country. So help us. You know, we don't like the Russians. They went to invade Ukraine, and we have always voted against him. We are with you. Come and help us. Some cheap president, Nana Akufo-Addo. Cheap-minded, infantile-minded, epileptic-minded president. Dwarfed-brained Nana Akufo-Addo. So sad. He was condemned all over Africa. My brother, my sister. But as it stands right now, a lot of the vegetables that come into the country Ghana are from Burkina Faso. A huge chunk. I am told about 40% and even more of all the vegetables we consume here come from Burkina Faso. About 40% and even more. Yet we are planting for jobs and food. Or is it for food and jobs? or is it reciprocal? Vegetables, we don't plant that. 40% or more is coming from Burkina Faso. Now the danger is this. Burkina Faso has endorsed GMO, genetically modified organisms. Ghana has not accepted it fully yet. It's still a struggle and a big fight in court. Now all the vegetables coming here, we have a big chunk of them with the highest probability of being GMO because they look fresh. Some of the tomatoes from Burkina Faso, you can put them down for 3 months and they will never rot. Some of the carrots, they look so fresh, you look at them and they are yummy. GMO. And even more. The tomatoes are larger than life. Children can play them like what? Tennis balls. And they are there. One of the dangers. Number 2, Burkina Faso is a landlocked country. Landlocked country. Just talking about the Volta. The Volta crosses all the way. Remember I said it links so many different places. That's the upper Volta. We have the black Volta and we have the white Volta. Let's not go too much into geography. Burkina Faso has no access to the sea. If they want to see the sea, they come to Ghana. Yet, they have enough water to produce food for themselves. Export that to us. It all came through the days of Thomas Sankara. When he rejected aid from the World Bank and told the whole world that his country, even though semi-deserted, would plant enough food to feed itself and feed other people. And it happened. That year, they had enough food to feed themselves and some to even export because of good leadership. Listen to this interesting thing. Now you claim terrorists are there. Yet the vegetables coming from there do not terrify you. You want to eat that. This is not the first time Ghana is playing so hypocritical. Remember, we were importing plantains from the Ivory Coast, a war-torn country at that time. We didn't care. They were fighting and killing each other. All we were interested in was to go and get their plantain and come here and feed our populace. What a disaster. Today, my brother, my sister, there's a man who says it's so shameful for us to be going to Burkina Faso to bring vegetables. This is the man. I think his name is Clementa Park. I'm not too sure, but I think I know him. From his smiles, I can recognize him from afar. Run the story. Importing tomatoes from Burkina Faso, a country with the worst climate and insurgency, is an embarrassment. And this Clementa Park, I got it right. Member of Parliament for Bursa South, Dr. Clementa Park, has expressed worry as to why Ghana would import tomatoes from a country with worse climate conditions. Come here. Hey, what a punchline. The MP is not happy as to how Ghana would invest $200 million annually to import tomatoes from Burkina Faso. Listen, tomatoes alone every year, according to this write-up, we spend $200 million American dollars to go to Burkina Faso and get their GMO tomatoes. This was after he drove past a convoy of 11 trucks at Natsia, heading towards Burkina Faso to import tomatoes. The lawmaker, in reaction to the issue, asserted that it is mind-boggling for Ghana, from a country suffering from insurgencies, I think you wanted to say, it's mind-boggling for a country like Ghana to import tomatoes from a country suffering from insurgencies. This the MP lamented. It's nothing far from incompetent leadership. Dash it away. Dash. Listen, hear me. Listen. What this man has said is nothing but the truth. Insurgencies. Wagner. They are a landlocked country. Remember I said that it's semi-deserted. Now if you want to see the desert proper, and you don't have enough time or resources to go to Saudi Arabia or to go to the Namib Desert, go to Burkina Faso. I've been to Burkina Faso several times. I love that country. But I can also tell you that the climate there is very harsh. In Burkina Faso, all you see is dust. The cars are all broken down. I didn't see one new car in Burkina Faso. A lot of the trotros they had there did not even have keys to spark them. They use wires. They will pull wires from corners, join them. You spark and then you move. Even radio sets in cars, we couldn't find any. They will buy a radio set, tie it to the car, and feed it with batteries and be playing. All because of the harsh climatic conditions, destroying so many different things. It's still a beautiful country. A beautiful country is not just about the geographical location. It's also about the warmness of the people. I have been to Ouagadougou, traveled all the way to Tinkurugu, been all the way to some other parts of Burkina Faso, including Bobo Dioulasso. And all I can tell you is that what Clement Apak is saying is nothing but the truth. Incompetent governance. President Kufuor said it 2 days ago that we are suffering from bad leadership, or what he claimed to be leadership crisis. But it's not only in Ghana, some other parts of the world. That means he's agreed that we have leadership crisis. We have a bad president who is so arrogant he will not listen to anybody. He knows it all. My brother, my sister, anytime you eat tomatoes, or any stew made from out of tomatoes, or any soup made from out of tomatoes, or salad that has tomatoes in it, you must understand that you are eating a chunk of Burkina Faso. And that the people there, despite their bad climate and their insurgencies, have dedicated time to plant these tomatoes for you. When you eat them, say a prayer for that country. When you eat them, say a prayer for our bad leaders, so their eyes and their brains can open. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodamo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, you know that we have more. Hey! Wayo!
Black Pot, Kukushodamo.
This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushodamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Remember that we are on YouTube. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube page. It's called the Black Empire Media. Click on the notification button. And at the same time, make sure that you follow us on social media. We are on all social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. This is the biggest show of Pan-Africanism on TV. We are live on Pan-African TV, and via the power of satellite, we are seen all over the world. Our numbers are scrolling on your screens. Pick up the numbers and do business with us. When you do business with us, you keep us going financially. And we also support your business to grow. This is the Blakk Pot. Come here. Next story. The next story rolls and it says what? Watch it. ANAS added to the Ghana list of criminals. ABRONYE DC. ANAS, Armiyao ANAS. Show that photo again. ANAS, Armiyao ANAS. And this is an investigative journalist. He's loved by so many people in Ghana and hated by people in top positions. A lot of them are thieves. When he takes his camera in there and is able to catch them stealing from the poor people of this country, the majority, they don't like it. His documentaries have been endorsed by such media powerhouses as CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, and a lot more. Nobody has ever had a problem with his modus operandi in terms of his way of investigating his issues. In fact, even the President of the Republic, Nana Akufo-Addo, swore that he would use the ANAS principle to be able to fight corruption. His party didn't see anything wrong with that. Oh, it was a good thing. It helped them win power to come into office. And now the ANAS principle all of a sudden has become problematic. Now, ABRONYE DC is this man here. He's from ABRONYE all the way in the BA. Bono Ahafo, as we have always known it. Now, Bono, you know, this is him. He's one man who is very hardworking. Recently, he gained some academic laurels. He's vociferous. I admire him for that. Not many people from ABRONYE are able to rise to this level of, I don't know whether to call it stardom or prominence or both. I admire him. But sometimes he speaks like somebody who has never sat in class 1. So I call him the gutter-mouthed ABRONYE DC. I love him, that notwithstanding. I truly love him. When I meet him, I will embrace him. We might disagree, but we are not enemies. No, far from that. I don't know him. I've never met him. I've seen him in the media. Same way he's seen me in the media too. I don't know if you've seen me, one-on-one before. But I haven't. Hear me now. ABRONYE DC has said something, and I need us to have a look at it. Watch it. What does it say? Ghana has no space for criminals and blackmailers like ANAS. And this ABRONYE DC talking as quoted by Ghana Web. Remember, it's quoted. Bono, regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, Kwame Bafo ABRONYE DC, has claimed vindication in his criticism of investigative journalists, ANAS Armiyao ANAS's style of journalism. Come here, my youth. ABRONYE, in a comment posted on his Facebook page, said that the ruling of an Accra High Court dismissing a defamation suit the journalist brought against Canada Japan was a vindication of his long-held belief that ANAS was a blackmailer and a criminal. He posted a 2019 online story in which he criticized the journalist over selective publication of damning investigations he had done on the former government. The caption of his post read, on the 8th of March 2019, I mentioned that ANAS is a blackmailer and that he has been collecting huge sums of money to bury investigations. He buried an investigation he did at the parliament between 2014 and 15 after negotiating with John Mahama because the piece implicated several NDC MPs who were ministers then. Today, I have been vindicated by the court. ANAS has destroyed a lot of families with his wicked activities under the guise of journalism. We can't let things slide like this. All persons who have been destroyed by ANAS also deserve justice. Ghana has no space for criminals and blackmailers like ANAS. Come here. Come here. So his president, Nana Akufo-Addo, in whose government he is the Bono Ahafu, what, said that he would use and implore the Anas principle to fight corruption in Ghana. And the president is a senior lawyer, though people say he has no certificate of law. ABRONYE is not a lawyer. ABRONYE is not an intellectual. The so-called learned intellectuals who wear goat's hair on their head, or is it cat hair or rat hair, a legacy of colonialism. They come and sit here and speak Latin to us, pro bono, oh, sine die, and so on and so on. They think that they are learned. Jokers. Some of them collect goats as bribe. The president is a senior lawyer. Under him, at least, the former CJ Chief Justice Sofia Akufu trained. He didn't see anything wrong with Anas principle. He stood firm and he endorsed it and wanted to even employ it in fighting criminality and corruption in the country. The president has not come out yet to say that, oh, I found that Anas's principle is problematic, so I'm not using it anymore. Interestingly, Anas had an investigation amongst the judiciary, and he caught a lot of them taking goats as bribe so nonchalantly, so carelessly. You know what happened? The judiciary believed in it. The judiciary believed in the investigation. They saw it as a beautiful investigation piece. And they acted on it all of a sudden. A few days after, the judiciary is finding it problematic and saying that, oh, he's a criminal, he's a blackmailer, he's an extortionist, he is a liar, he is a murderer, and so on and so forth. Please, his investigative pieces have been sent to the presidency. There were times that Anas was asked to bring unedited tapes to the presidency. He was not obliged to do that, but he did it. The information minister made it known to the whole country. They looked into it with microscopes and lenses, heavy lenses. They couldn't find anything wrong with that. All of a sudden, some dubious pronouncement. Somebody who has been handpicked by one of the feuding parties has pushed somebody to come in and tell us anything. And ABRONYE DC says, yeah, you know I said it. He's a criminal. He's a blackmailer. Yes, that guy, this country has no space for him. In that case, this country has no space for your president. He said he's using the Anas principle. If Anas is a criminal, then Nana Akufo-Addo is a criminal. Because he's endorsing the criminality of Anas. If Anas is an extortionist, Nana Akufo-Addo is a bigger extortionist. At least, we saw somebody come and donate money to him. And he didn't find out what the source of the money was. On tape, we saw it. What are you talking about? Please. Don't be this childish. If Anas's investigative journalism is all of a sudden investigative terrorism, then the president is a bigger terrorist. Don't joke. Even the judiciary, in fact, is a judiciary terrorist or a terrorist judiciary because they sat on Anas's investigations, dwelt on it, and decided to suspend and punish some of his members, endorsing it outright. Are jokers, you these guys. When we return, we have more. My name, Blakk RASTA, is the Black Pot, and it's all in the service of God and country. The truth is bitter, but it heals. Any medicine that is bitter, most of the time heals. Medicine that is sweet, oh, just Fanta. Hey! Wayo!
Blackpot. Coco show them.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Coco Show. Remember, we are on YouTube. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called the Blakk Empire Media. Blakk Empire Media. Click on the notification button. We are in the service of God and country. The truth, the whole truth, is what we say. When we make mistakes, like every other human being, we apologize and we retract. Hardly do we make those mistakes, but to err is human. Again, anytime we criticize, we don't personalize things, because it's not about personalities. It's about the upliftment and development of our people, our continent, our land. Our numbers are scrolling on your screen. Please pick them up. Follow us on Twitter as well. Follow us on Facebook, and also follow us on Instagram. We come your way every day, Monday to Friday, with 5 stories every day. You can't afford to miss this. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Coco Show, where we speak truth to power. Run it. Next story. What does it say? See it rolling. Unfair road minister called out. Who is the road minister? Okay, this is the man. You all remember? You are late. You are living years behind. You are late. This was what he said when Ghanaians came out and said, the president is not building roads enough. He said that he was going to turn the year into the year of roads, yet we are not seeing roads. This was the man who said arrogantly to news people that we were late. They had started building roads years back. These were the people who canceled the road tolls in Ghana. This was the man who said that the toll booths will now be turned into toilets and baths. And Ghanaians said, this man, is he living on Mars? In the middle of the street, you want to have a toilet and a bath? They called him out, and he quickly came on and said, oh, I didn't mean that. I mean, we'll move them to other places. Please, 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 please. Before you talk, engage. That's what it is. Today, people are calling him out. That's the road minister. This was the man who went out there fighting some Chinese people for not doing their work well on the streets. And the cameras were on him. Well, it was okay. Some people would say, well, he was just playing to the gallery. But at least it will warn some other people. That's if they are not in bed. Because I don't trust this government anyway. They are seen trying to fight insurgency as in insurgency of our economy. But at the same time, they are those deporting Aisha Huang and bringing her back and engaging in a lot of dangerous activities that are not inimical to our growth as a nation. Watch what he said. Roads minister accused of paying contractors based on favoritism. And this is from who? GCCI. What is the GCCI? The Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry has accused the Minister of Roads and Highways, Kwesi Amoakwata, of awarding contracts to contractors based on favoritism. According to the chamber, This is stifling the growth of the road sector. They noted that the delay and non-payment of executed projects are affecting the operations in the sector. The CEO of the chamber, Emmanuel Cherry, has stated that the road minister is to blame for the current situation, adding the posturing of the minister is further worsening our plight. So Emmanuel Cherry is almost saying, hey, roads minister, stop this cherry picking. He has failed to be transparent in his operations over the years. Worst of all, the roads minister pays contractors based on favoritism rather than a first-come, first-served basis. And this is from City Newsroom. My brother, I am not surprised at this. Cherry picking. Who holds a party card? Who is a party member? Who comes from my village? Who supported me when I wanted to become a politician? Who did what for me? We see it so much in our country. It's no more about merit. Merit is not only about who did the job, but who did it first. Who did it better? Cherry picking. Next story. We are done. Oh, this is a sad story. I didn't want to do this story, but anytime I think about this story, I die a little. Ghanaians love South Africa. I love South Africa. I've been to South Africa a number of times. I love South Africa. Hey, what do you want in South Africa that you can't find? Tell me. Ghanaian businessman in strange demise in South Africa. Did he die? Was he killed? What happened to him? Who was it? Look at this man. 48 years, my age. Businessman in South Africa. We are told that he had hit a certain big jackpot. Signed some huge contracts. Executed some big money deal. All of a sudden, show the photo. He went to a party, ate some food, a little drink, and then boom, he died in his house. Or was the party held in his house? Who cooked the food for him? Who cooked the food? Now when he died, we were told that his wife quickly went out. And then when she was questioned, she said, oh, he was poisoned. As to how she got to know that he was poisoned, it became a little shaky. Then we were told that she had complained that this man, her husband, used to be abusive. At the same time, he used to womanize and some other such things. So did they have a domestic quarrel? Somebody is shouting already behind me that they should do a post-mortem. The family in Ghana said, we will do a post-mortem. Show me the Ghana South African documents. You will see the Ghana coat of arms there. They talked to the Ghana embassy in South Africa. They went into the issue. And boom, they came out. And they said, well, the family members in Ghana say that, oh, the man died, but they want to have a post-mortem. Better still, an autopsy. A lot of documents. This is the document from the Ghana embassy. The family says, we are suspecting that somebody did something bad. At least the wife said he was poisoned. But who poisoned him? And the South African police does not seem to be interested in any autopsy. They are rather in a hurry to get a South African funeral house to bury the man. Show me that document. You see this document, K2M, letter of confirmation. What does it say? Oh, we want to bury the man quickly. And the family in Ghana says, no! Autopsy. Let's find out what poison killed him. South African police says no. Now the family is suspecting. Whoever is suspecting. Is it because of the domestic feud that somebody might have sneaked behind and poisoned this man? Who poisoned the man? Does somebody know? How did the wife know that this man was poisoned? In fact, you know that we will follow up on this issue. But look at court documents. A lot of documents. Look at this. To whom it may concern. Come here, let's read it. This is a court document. And it says what? Godwin Yao Atipo. And when you read over and over, it talks about how he died and blah, 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 blah. Now they are waiting for the autopsy. Next document. Drop them. Drop them. These are all court documents. Dropping like hotcakes. You see, this is the man. Pam, pam, pam. Drop them. Drop them. You see, they are dropping. They are dropping. Now the family says, no, there must be an autopsy. South African police says, no autopsy. Now the thing is, if they even bring the body to Ghana to do the autopsy here, it will not be accepted in South Africa. And therefore, all that the man worked and got, the last deals he signed and got so much money coming in, might just go to whoever wanted him dead. Do you get it? So the family is mad. Let us corroborate that with the Ghana web story. Drop it. Drop it. Ghanaian businessman poisoned to death in South Africa. Newton Kweku Boateng, a 48-year-old Ghanaian businessman living in South Africa, has been poisoned according to a report by the Daily Guide Network. And when you read it, it's the same things that I told you. According to Godwin Atipo, the Kempton Park Police Station, which he alleges is working closely with the widow of the late Alina Malungu, is suspected of corruption and covering up the murder of Newton Kweku Boateng. We shall follow up this story. You know we are so good with this. We will make sure. Watch this. The deceased widow to the family allegedly conspired to have the case files destroyed by the CID. Once again, they claim that the widow had warned the family not to ask for an autopsy report. Alina Malungu. That's a South African name, isn't it? So he got married to a South African. So what truly is the problem? The family is crying. The Weekend Crusading Guide, the new one, also published it. I promise you that we shall get into it. Come here. The man would have justice. Trust me. It's been the Blakk Pot, a.k.a. Kukushunamo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Remember, we are on YouTube. It's very important to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's called Black Empire Media. And click on the notification button. Give us the numbers so the message can spread. Again, our numbers are scrolling on the screen. Do you have any information that you want us to put out after investigating? Or do you want to do business with us? We are ready for you. Hey! Wayo! Power!